Good morning, my dear students of class 6, and I am glad to welcome you all once again to my botany class. So, this is the first class in this term, right? So, right from the beginning, work hard on your lessons and learn your daily lessons, and may God bless you all with good health and wisdom. So, let's get started with today's class. What is today's class? What have we been studying before your term 1 examinations? We were studying about a lesson called as habitat and adaptations, right? So, adaptations and habitat, about various environment, about various habitats we have been studying, and today's class is going to be adaptations in desert plants. So, usually in other places we have so many plants, but in deserts, if you see, there are only very less number of plantation when compared to the other areas, right? So, why such limitations for desert plants, and what are the special features present in the desert plants so that they alone manage to survive in such extreme conditions will be the topic for today's class. So, let's get started. So, before learning about the adaptations, what is a desert habitat? What is a habitat? Habitat is the place where an organism lives. Say for example, what is your habitat? Where do you live? Your habitat is your house. Is the habitat where you live, no? In the place where you live is your habitat. What is desert habitat? The plants which can live in a desert. For the plants, it is the habitat, right? So, what is a desert first of all? Which area of the earth you can categorize under by the name called desert? What is special about the deserts? Deserts are dry places when compared to the place we live, no? Deserts, if you see, it is totally dry. Then one more property is it has a very little rainfall. The rains in the deserts are limited. You don't have much rain in the desert. So, first of all, it is a very dry place. Why it is dry? Because rainfall is very little in the desert regions, and deserts have very hot climate and cold climate, that is extremes of temperature you have. Say for example, in the day it is too hot when compared to other areas of the land, it is too hot, and it is too cold in the nights. Why it is too hot? What is special about deserts alone being so hot? There are two reasons. The first reason is deserts receive direct sunlight. See, most of the deserts, if you see in your globe, in the map, if you see, in the map you have three regions, right? Equator, Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, all you have. So, most of the deserts in the globe fall in the region of the equator. So, what is special about being in the equator? Equator is the place which will receive direct sunlight. So, whatever parts come under, like whichever places, if you see in the equator, there is a line, no, in the globe, you must have studied in geography. So, whichever place falls under that equator, they are usually very hot because it receives direct sunlight. And one more concept here is, in the deserts, the day is longer than the night. You have long day. The duration of the day will be very long. That's why it is too hot, and also in the other extreme it is too cold also. So, either it is too hot or it is too cold. So, this is one more special property about the deserts, and always it is sandy. Mostly if you see, here in this picture it is not shown much, but generally if you see in television, all deserts generally it will be of fine sand particles. No, sand is mostly present in the desert. So, it does not mean only sand is present, you equally have rocks also in the desert. So, these are some of the properties of the desert. What are the properties we have studied? Deserts are very dry, deserts have very little rainfall, deserts have extreme extreme climatic conditions, like either it is too hot or too cold, the area is mostly covered with sand, and also rocks are also present in desert. These are the properties of desert. What are the other properties? You have dust storms in the desert. What is this dust storm? See, we have storm where mostly the air only we can see, no? But since sand is spread all over in the desert, when there is a storm, instead of air, there will be sand and dust particles found in the storm. That is why it is called as dust storm. A storm will carry the dust particles and mostly sand particles. It will carry along with the air. That is why they are called as dust storms. And this dust storms you can frequently experience in desert environment. And also there is soil erosion. What is erosion? Water, when it flows in a particular area repeatedly, no, in that place you will not find soil because it will wash away the sand. Similarly, because of the frequent storms in the desert, particular area will lose the soil. Erosion means it vanishes away. There is no more soil in that area. But here the reason in the desert is not because of water, it is because of the storms that frequently happen and carry away the sand. So at one particular place you will not find sand at all, it is eroded. And mark a difference in the night and day. I told you, no, extreme climatic conditions you will have. The day and the night will be extremely experiencing different climatic conditions. There is more difference. Marked difference means much difference between the climatic conditions of the day and between the night, because the nights are too cold and the days are too hot. Example for desert is Thar desert. So most of the deserts, if you see around the globe, it all falls in the equator region. Clear? The example you should know. Example for desert is Thar desert. And then now only we are going to start about the adaptation topic. So what is adaptation? See, with all these extreme climatic conditions in the desert, how do the plants manage to survive in that area? Because I told you there is frequent storm, there is erosion, there is hot climatic condition, cold climatic condition, everything I have told you, no. So in spite of all these, and there is no rainfall at all, and the plant needs water to grow, right? So how will the plant manage to survive in these climatic conditions? This is called as adaptations. How all the plants can adapt themselves to survive in these extreme conditions. There are 5 adaptations given in your textbook. We will learn one by one. The first adaptation, how desert plants manage to survive in the desert, is they can conserve water. There is little rainfall, no? So whenever there is little rainfall, the plants will take up the water and they will conserve the water. What is conservation? Conservation means storage. They store the water and use them for longer duration. So the first property how plants manage to survive in the desert is they conserve water or they store water. Where do they store water? In the succulent part. Succulent means juicy parts which will hold water. See, the leaves will be holding water. If you break these leaves, no, water will ooze out. So it is called succulent parts. Example in cacti, even a cactus plant, no, if you break, water will be oozing out because it is a succulent part which will conserve the water or which will save the water. So this is the first property. Apart from cacti, you also have plants like eucalyptus and agave. These words all you have to memorize. What are the desert plants which can conserve water? Cacti, eucalyptus and agave can conserve the water. This is the first adaptation. What is the second adaptation in desert plants? Most of the desert plants are shrubs. Shrubs are shorter in length, no? And also they have deep roots. The roots can penetrate deep into the soil so that if there is underground water available, it can take up that water and it can help them to grow. This is the second adaptation. So they reach underground. So in ground level you will have more water, no, even if there is no rainfall, the ground level you will be having water. Since these desert plants have deep roots, those roots will penetrate until that water table, and it will take the water available for its growth. So this is the second adaptation. The third adaptation in desert plants is they have a property of being dormant. What is dormancy? Dormancy means they will stay idle for some duration and be active in other part of their life. When they will stay inactive, whenever there is no water availability, that time they act as a dormant plant. They will not grow or they will not multiply during those conditions, and once favorable condition return back, like whenever water is available, they start growing rapidly. So like the other plants, they do not dry up whenever there is no water, but instead they stay dormant. Without growth, just they manage to survive, they live, that's all. So dormancy is the third adaptation that desert plants have. Example for such dormant plant is desert lily. This is the plant desert lily. Okay, so first adaptation is they have the property of conserving water. Second adaptation is they have deep roots to penetrate until the groundwater table, and the third adaptation is being dormant whenever water is unavailable. And two more adaptations we have. The fourth adaptation is how they manage to multiply. There are certain plants called tumbleweeds. Tumbleweeds means the weeds which can tumble. See, they can roll about like this. They roll about and spread to some other place, and the other place they can establish their multiplication. Like even if it is not available, it is not carried by wind directly, but they tumble because of course because of storm. They can tumble around and reach some other place and multiply there also, so that their variety is propagated. So this is the third adaptation, how they multiply. They can roll fast on the flat surfaces. So whenever the surface is flat, this tumbling will be easier for them. So what is the advantage of this tumbling? The weeds tumble so that they are taken off to far places, and there the seeds will germinate into a new plant. This is an adaptation for the multiplication of desert plants. And the fifth adaptation is specifically for the cacti plant. This cactus plant alone has three adaptations. The first adaptation in cactus plant is they have modified leaves. Leaf modification must have studied in the first lesson, right? Many leaves do not have their normal shape. Instead of that, they are modified into some other forms for some benefits. So here in cacti, the leaf is modified into, actually this is not the leaf. Many misunderstand that this is the leaf of a cactus. This is not the leaf. The spine like structure, the thorn like structure is actually the leaf. It is called the spines. The thorn like structure has a term called as spines. So what is the advantage of the cactus plant having spines? See, usually you have studied about transpiration, no? What is transpiration? Generally, if you pour 100% of water to a plant, 99% of the water will be lost by transpiration, that is loss of water through the leaves. So if you pour water, most of the water will be evaporated or lost through the leaves of the plant. But here this is not the normal leaf, it is the spine or thorn like structure which doesn't have any pores. So there is no possibility of transpiration through the spines, right? So the water, whatever the water is available to the plant, everything will be conserved or stored by the plant without any loss through transpiration process. So the presence of spines prevent transpiration. This is the first adaptation in the cacti. And the second adaptation is stem. I told you this is not the leaf. No, what is this then? This is the stem. Spines are the leaves and this is the stem. So the stem is generally thick and fleshy so that they can conserve the water. The cactus, the stem region only will retain the water and save for whenever water is not available. Also, cactus plant has a special property, like the stem can carry out photosynthesis. Usually which part of the plant carries photosynthesis? Leaves, right? But in cactus alone, the stem can carry out photosynthesis and get the food required for the plants, as well as I told you already, the spines are also, the structure will prevent transpiration. So these are the two advantages. The third advantage is, usually cactus plant have a waxy coating, like a shiny coating you have over the stem of the cactus, and this waxy layer again will prevent the loss of water, because there is a coating outside, water is not lost easily. So this is the third adaptation in the cactus plant. So this is all about the adaptations present in desert plants. Because of these adaptations only, certain plants can still survive in desert environment, that is in the extreme conditions. So for your homework, you are going to read page number 108 and 109. You have this topic called adaptations in desert plants in page number 108 and 109. So whenever I teach you a lesson, please read the lesson immediately, so that you don't forget it for lifetime. I will be giving worksheet for this lesson in the next week. So keep reading as I teach you, and until I meet you in your next botany class, you all take care and bye bye.